Ahmedabad with an objective of benefit of all HR fraternity, learning and development of HR fraternity. We have various WhatsApp groups for Gujarat and outside Gujarat, including Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Karnataka and Gurgaon. In addition to these groups, our members are also connected through platforms like Telegram, Facebook, Instagram and LinkedIn. In 2022, we proudly launched our own HR milestone application equipped with advanced features such as events, updates, registrations, circulars and various government notifications. The vision of HR milestone is to the leading HR community focus on the learning and development of the HR fraternity. Our mission is to bring together HR leaders, academics and trusted professionals on common platform, fostering a keen sense of learning and knowledge exchange. Through these interactions, our members can unlock their potential, drive organizational performance and advance the HR professional as a whole. Our objective is to provide a platform for the HR professional to interact, network and steer the shared learning process, ultimately raising the network of the entire industry. We aim to strengthen the industry academic interface and create opportunities for collaborations. Now, we can see the logo of our HR milestone also. It's a registered forum. The logo reflects us. You can see the necktie which says that network for the HR professionals. You can see the down arrow. It says that sharing the knowledge to down the line. And you can see the two people shaking the hands, which represents the strengthen the industry and academic interface. Now I call Dr. Smita Iyer for welcoming our today's guest with a flower of bouquet. Dr. Smita, please.
Thank you. Thank you. That's very good. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Smita. Today we are privileged to have a distinguished speaker among us, Mr. Sanjay Suthar. He will be sharing his expert views on today's topic, fixed term appointment, artificial breaks, repeated appointments. Mr. Sanjay holds a master's degree in social work and diploma in industrial relations and personal management, with a remarkable 33 years of hardcore IR experience. He has been associated with renowned lifestyle products manufacturing conglomerates and hold senior positions. Throughout his career, Mr. Sanjay has demonstrated expertise in industrial relations, particularly in multi-location and multi-union scenarios across various industries such as engineering, pharmaceutical, pesticides and automotive. He has successfully navigated through phases of recessions, contributing to organizational restructuring, plant separation and the establishment of robust IR policies. His knowledge and experience also extend to compensation management and benefits for bargaining units, as well as preventive and corrective industrial relations. He has handled around 40 to 50 strikes and mass termination of around 400 to 500 people. He has also handled around 24,000 contract labor and 5,000 domestic inquiries and terminations. He has handled the 35 charters of demand, and amongst them 2 are non-negotiable settlements. And he has also handled around more than 100 strikes. Mr. Sanjay is not only a seasoned professional but also a passionate trainer. He has conducted numerous training sessions focusing on the practical aspects of the industrial relations contract labor management. Through his training, he advocates for a balanced approach that benefits all the stakeholders of the contract labor management system. Once again, we extend a warm welcome to Mr. Sanjay Suthar. We eagerly await his enlightening insights on today's intriguing topic. We welcome you, Mr. Suthar. Please. Thank you.
Start. Very good. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Friends, good morning. Can you hear me all? या फिर इसको निकाल दूं चलेगा? I have one very basic question to you all before we get into a business of what we are going to talk for 2-3 hours. I need to understand one very basic concept of HR. Basic concept of HR is, where is money in HR? क्या आप मानते हैं that there is money in HR? Where is money? कहाँ पे है? Can you show where is money in HR? Can somebody say yes? This is where money is. कहाँ पे है? पैसा बताओ मुझे. Where are we in balance sheet? All money that we talk about is there in the balance sheet? Obviously yes. Correct? No? There is no other place other than balance sheet where we can see money. पैसा होता है ना बैलेंस में, but then where is HR in balance sheet? Can somebody say yes, this is where we are in balance sheet? कहाँ पे है? कहाँ पे है? Yes. Where are we? Under what title? That will be the next question, in fact.
I believe ROI can be measured in many parameters.
Many parameters, but where are we? Tangible rupees, countable money there in the balance sheet which reflects, yes, this is where HR is. You know what is employee cost? कहाँ पे? It's the only title which talks about HR in balance sheet. Have you ever attended any AGM? What is AGM? Annual General Body Meeting. ये मान लो ये सब शेयर होल्डर्स हैं. ये सब शेयर होल्डर्स HDFC से ICICI से कहाँ से they are all investing in my business. Yes, no? So what do you think? What questions they will have to HR person? क्या सवाल पूछेंगे? If I am an HR person, you are all shareholders, you will ask me one question. कौन सा सवाल पूछेंगे आप? Which finally talks about money. Say this is actually a commercial arrangement. You are all investing. I am trying to multiply the money. I am trying to make profit out of it. But my today's concern is how am I focused with respect to HR in balance sheet. I think I should move to the next. One very prominent question, the same way as the question which I asked before, as what is your employee cost to turnover? बता सकता है कोई? For example, I am 1,000 crore. So what money I should spare for people? कितना होगा? बता सकते हैं आप? You tell me in terms of percentage. 1%, 2, 10, 15, 20, 30, whatever comes, that whatever you have remembered. कितना पैसा if I am as an entrepreneur, कितना होगा? This has direct connection to fixed term employees, direct nexus with that. I am going to ask n number of questions because I want you to ask me questions. Correct? No, this is going to be discussion. ये कोई कॉलेज का लेक्चर नहीं है so that मैं बोलते जाऊँ आप सुनते जाओ, half of them will sleep. No, nothing of that kind of. I am going to ask. I have asked you one question. I am going to ask you another question. What is wage bill, employee cost, salary cost, वगैरह to the turnover? कितना होगा?
Ideally, it should be 5 to 6%.
Very good. I hope this should have been an ideal position. 5 to 6% is very good, excellent. This real reflection of HR skills in what he says. But what is the reality? Reality में क्या है? कितना रियलिटी में क्या है? 5-6% इज ऑफ कोर्स आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट 10-15 ईयर्स पहले होता था. टुडे इट इज व्हाट इज इट देयर इन योर कंपनी? कितना है एम्प्लॉय कॉस्ट टू टर्नओवर? कितना है? इफ यू आर आस्क्ड दैट 5-6% इज टू बी ब्रॉट टू 4.5%, क्या करेंगे? इफ दैट इज योर KPA, how will you do that? See, the subject that we are going to talk about has no books. इसके ऊपर फिक्स टर्म एम्प्लॉयज के ऊपर कोई बुक देखा है आपने? नहीं. SOP देखा है? नहीं. प्रोटोकॉल देखा है? नहीं. रिसर्चेस देखा है? नहीं. Then how are we going to talk about justify the topic? So friends, there are n number of questions like this, and then we are going to deliberate on that subject, trying to arrive, we'll try to arrive at, yes, this should be the modus operandi through which the cost will get controlled, and everything is in my hand. मैं decide करूँगा कैसे होगा. This is what the topic today, and thanks to HR forum, HR milestone. ये milestone का नाम थोड़ा चेंज करना चाहिए. मैंने अभी इनको सजेस्ट किया. It has to be a benchmark. You know what is the difference between milestone and benchmark? क्या डिफरेंस है? वो 5 बॉल्स में 5-6 किसने मारा? रिंकू सिंह. युवराज ने 6 बॉल में 6 छक्का मारा. कैन यू ब्रेक दैट रिकॉर्ड? कर सकते हैं वो रिकॉर्ड? ब्रेक नहीं कर सकते. आप खाली मैच कर सकते हो. 6 बॉल में 7 छक्के नहीं मार सकते. Until unless one of them is a no ball. कर सकते हैं ना, वाइड बॉल पे भी 6 मारते. अपना काम नो बॉल पे 6 मारना है. एंड दैट इज द बेंचमार्क. ये माइलस्टोन तो बहुत सारे आपने अचीव कर लिए. आई मीन आई हैव टू थिंक ऑफ setting a benchmark for others which others can't achieve. You become a Rinku Singh, you become Yuvraj, you become whatever one. थोड़ा चेंज कर देना. My suggestion. So thanks to, and my initiative is with respect to performance first, and I talk about excellence unlimited. When you think of reducing your wage bill from 6% to 5.5%, you are going to sweat a blood. खून निकलेगा आंखों में से, तब जाके ये होगा. It is the reason is what? Every year you give 10% more. अप्रैल में आया 10% ज़्यादा. एक तो 10% ज़्यादा दे रहे, ऊपर से 5% कम कर रहे हैं. It is contradictory job. How are you going to handle? This is where the HR is on a test. It's a firewalk. कैसे करेंगे? I'll suggest these material actually we are going to talk about today is the material worth 2 days, but then he said अभी 3 घंटे में ख़त्म करना. वो कैसे करेंगे आप? Somehow I try to squeeze that. I've converted that into some kind of SOP protocol. ऐसा कुछ बनाएंगे guideline, so that the takeaway that you will have at the end of maybe 12 o'clock, you are different with a different confidence on the face. Yes, पूछ कर सकते हैं यार. So then unexplored area which we are going to talk about, थोड़ा उसके ऊपर बात करेंगे. ठीक है? So this is actually a wealth creation through HR. तो पैसा बनाना है. The first question that I ask you कि HR में पैसा कहाँ है? अभी आप जाके go back to your place, open a balance sheet and try to find out which are all ingredients of employee cost. तो employee cost का कहाँ से? What are the reverse working? उसमें क्या क्या होगा? You can find out from this. Okay. So this is me and fixed term appointment. ये कोई बता सकता है? You have this category of employees in your company? है क्या? How many of you appoint these people? Fixed term employee कितने आपके पास है? Then do you give break?
ब्रेक आर्टिफिशियल 5 से 6 दिन का लगेगा आर्टिफिशियल.
So I have one person to target. He will help me out in redesigning flow of which I have decided. You have FTA.
Project based only. So on the project
That's
goal-
very good. Excellent. Very good. So we will have a discussion on fixed term appointment. So इसमें there are three words. Which are they? Fixed term and appointment. थोड़ा आगे जाते हैं. So this is a unique and productive learning session. These programs are not like leadership communication. ये program नहीं है कि आया गया खाया पिया कुछ नहीं क्लास थोड़ा बाहर आना. Nothing like this. You're going to get something very concrete out of the total flow that we'll be having discussion on. Okay, and HR is simplified back to basic. There are many people who doesn't know back. The question that I raised, मैंने पूछा अभी कि भाई where are we in the balance sheet? So many people who doesn't know. Many people. Forget about you and me. And even I was not. I had a learning from my bosses. Okay, so क्या हो गया? Okay. Who performs better? You have an appraisal system. Who performs better? ये आपने how many of you have read different acts? ID Act, Standing Orders Act, Trade Union, ये सब minimum wages, ये सब act किसने पढ़े हैं? जरा हाथ ऊपर उठाओ. Don't worry, I am not going to ask tricky questions. I just wanted to understand. Yes. जो मैं बोल रहा हूँ उसका बाउंसर नहीं जाएगा. So that when I talk, I must understand. Yes, that I have a good tuning with you. So you have understood this. Who performs better? Let's talk about classification. कितना different category of employees that you have in an industrial employment standing orders act. कितना है बताएंगे आप? And now a question before that is, do you have a certified or a model? Certified standing orders or model standing orders? Both कैसे होंगे? Yes. So this is a model standing I am talking about. There are 6 category of employees enumerated there in the model standing orders. ठीक है? And if you have a certified, थोड़े ज़्यादा होंगे based on your business convenience. Okay. So out of all these categories, who performs better? Now, से कायदे में एक चीज़ जो मैंने देखा वो मैं आपको बताता हूँ, that whenever you go to judiciary will have a 2 different connotations. One is either your actions are bona fide or your actions are mala fide. ये इसका मतलब क्या है? What is the meaning of bona fide and mala fide? क्या मतलब है? कोई बताएगा? You are abiding by law. This is what bona fide is. See, when you start reading a law, उसके पहले there are objectives of that law. Why this law has been brought to statute book, and these law will produce what for the business, for the country, for the constitution, for all of us, for all stakeholders. So there are objectives behind framing that particular act. Okay. So when all of your actions are in tune with what law says, then all of your actions are bona fide. If you are little turning from and trying to find a shortcut, कि नहीं इसको थोड़ा बाजू पे रखो, ऐसा कर लो, कुछ नहीं होगा, ठीक है? So then it is all your actions are mala fide. Bona fide intention and mala fide intention. So दो में कहीं न कहीं आप पकड़े जाओगे. So the next word is, do you take care if who performs better? ये आप KPA बनाता है ना अपना खुद का. So you have a freedom to decide your KPAs. You don't have a freedom to decide your KPAs. Who decides KPAs? KPAs, KRS, whatever, OKRs and then objectives, goals, आप जो भी नाम दे दो उसको. So you have a freedom to decide your KPAs. at least out of 4 5 that you have, at least one you have a freedom to decide that yes, मैं करूँगा ये, this is my intention, I want to do this. तो उसमें से ये है क्या? Who performs better out of the 7 10 different categories that you have in the company? Who performs? Which category gives you more productivity? पैसा कहाँ से आता है? Who produces more fall? Okay, then with less or no liabilities. There are liabilities, yeah, there are no liabilities. So which out of these 6 categories that we have enumerated there in the model standing orders, which category performs better? No hidden or open risk. कहीं ना कहीं कुछ ना कुछ risk होता है which you and me are supposed to mitigate and make sure that the journey of a business is smooth. Okay, the legal liability implications, complications and fact. ये implications and complications are really complicated. ठीक है, when you start working with your hands, you'll understand कि इसमें complications क्या है and implications क्या है and how do we connect it to bona fide and mala fide. Okay, then wage bill, employee cost to turnover, which we already have discussed. You very rightly said 5 to 6%, but today it differs. It has gone up to 10 to 11%. Okay, and in some industries like IT and all, and hotel industry, service producing, banking and all, their percentages are different. They have to an extent of 25%, and IT industries little more than. Okay, so how do you measure PAT to turnover, employee cost? What is PAT? PAT is not kutta here, profit after tax. Okay, so this is what finally is measured at the end of the day, what money you have earned with the efforts of HR. This is what should be your KPI, year on year increase in employee. ये बढ़ता है ना, year every year you give 10%. वो नया employee आया उसको भी 20% ज़्यादा दे देते हैं. And I have replaced him, I'll get 20% more. तो पैसा तो बढ़ता ही बढ़ता है, but how do you control? Finally, all the measures of controlling money is whose responsibility? This is our KPI, it's yours and my KPI. Okay, what is VAP to turnover? Is there anyone who knows VAP? These are all little of financial jargon which we should try to understand to make sure that our presence in the balance sheet improves. What is VAP? Value addition per employee. For example, agar your turnover is 1000 crore, how many employees you need? Let's take an example of 1000 employees. 1000 crore, 1000 employees. So VAT is 1 crore per employee. अगर आपने 1100 किए 1000 के, तो टर्नओवर भी 1000 से बढ़ना चाहिए. Okay, and if you reducing, maybe because of XYZ circumstances, business complications वगैरह, तो टर्नओवर भी कम होना चाहिए. बट वेयर का बफर कहाँ पे है? The buffer is there in fixed term employee. This is one category we are trying to connect to. Okay. The next one is increase in permanent employee numbers. ये permanent employees में बढ़ोतरी हुआ या कम हुआ? Do you monitor? For example, out of 1000 employees that I have, 300 are permanent employees. Year on year, is it increasing or it is decreasing? And if it is increasing, whose responsibility it is? The answer there is the only one is you and me are responsible. लोगों परमानेंट क्यों बनाते हो? That the question that will be asked by the entrepreneur. क्यों बनाते हो? Why do you want permanent liabilities? And उसका जवाब ढूंढने के लिए we all the times keep searching. कहाँ पे इसका जवाब मिलेगा? Then increase in employee cost. Increase हो रहा है, decrease हो रहा है. Okay. What is atypical workforce? कोई बता सकता है क्या? आप मेरे को सवाल नहीं पूछ रहे हैं, मुझे तो आपको सवाल पूछना ही पूछना है. So what is atypical workforce? Anyone? All other than permanent are atypical workforce like contract, casual, पहले बदली होता था. Okay, then daily wages, they are all atypical workforce. And what is the ratio of atypical to typical workforce? And is it decreasing, increasing, and what liabilities you have? I don't know whether your boss asks all this. ये पूछते हैं या नहीं पूछते हैं, आप मुझे मालूम नहीं. How this is being, but this is 100% professional question, and you and me supposed to monitor in depth connecting that to money. से हमको फाइनली तो, एंड ये मैंने कुछ एग्जाम्पल्स दिए, बेस्ड ऑन योर एक्सपीरियंस यू कैन ऐड टू दिस, ठीक है. सो विल मूव ऑन टू नेक्स्ट. सो व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट लॉ, if I am talking all this is trying to create a preamble so that when I explain you different provisions, judiciary pronouncement and an action plan thereof, you should be in a position to connect. Yeah, इसका यहाँ पे ये connection हो रहा है. This is what you should be in a position to connect. Therefore I am explaining. देखो हर एक लॉ जितना भी है इंडस्ट्रियल डिस्प्यूट एक्ट से लेके टिल एंड, वी हैव ऑलमोस्ट 200 डिफरेंट लॉज. मालूम है क्या? Including that of central state rules and whatnot. So each law, as I explained to you, has a purpose. Okay, contract labor has a purpose, Factory Act has a purpose, the ID Act has a purpose, employment has a purpose, everywhere there is a purpose. And what we do is, we read the law and then we try to interpret, yes, इसका मतलब क्या होता है, what is wages? That we try to understand, yes, this is wages. But even after a little confusion, we go to an advocate and try to find out, sir, ये wage का मतलब क्या है. Then we try to consult consultant. Then we try to consult seniors to understand कि इसका actual interpretation क्या है. You know, during a school days, we were asked to write a comprehension. अभी बच्चे लोग बैठे हैं इधर. Do you write comprehension? What is the meaning of comprehension? Meaning of a comprehension is my understanding of a subject. Okay, for the purpose, for that purpose, will take an example. Money for me is different, money for you is different, money for Ambani family is different, money for businessman is different, money for salaried people. Money is money finally. Money can be in a dollar, money can be in rupees, money can be in yen, वगैरह वगैरह. So what I am trying to understand is, I am trying to interpret. Then gather opinion. Then I derive, after gathering opinion of everybody, मेरा एक conceptualization होता है. Yes, इसका मतलब ये है. Say he has said money is this, he has said money is this, he has said money is this. Finally, it is me who is supposed to conclude that this is what wages is. So I have my own definition. इसका मतलब wages होता है. For our purpose of today's discussion, what is fixed term employee is you and me are supposed to conclude within ourselves. कायदा ये बोलता है, जुडिशियरी ये बोलता है, कंसल्टेंट ये बोलता है. Everybody has a different connotation, but my understanding of FTA is this. So before you start taking action on any of the concept that you have understood, conceptual clarity for all of us is very important. उसके बिना हम लोग काम शुरू करते नहीं हैं. Yes, no? No? Okay. So then, convenient interpretation. उसका एक रिस्क होता है. You never know who is going to challenge the understanding that you have. मैंने समझ लिया ये वेजेस है, मैंने स्ट्रक्चर डिज़ाइन कर दिया, मैंने आई हैव डन लॉट ऑफ, आई हैव टेकन एक्शन, बट समबडी इज देयर कीपिंग वॉच ऑन मी. ही इज कीपिंग वॉच ऑन मी सेइंग दैट तुम जो कर रहे हो गलत कर रहे हो. आई नो, बट एट अ राइट टाइम आई विल स्पार्क एंड आई विल मेक श्योर दैट आई विल स्क्वीज योर नेक. ओके, सो देन आई स्टार्ट इम्प्लीमेंटिंग. मेरा अंडरस्टैंडिंग विच आई हैव गैदर्ड फ्रॉम डिफरेंट पीपल, ओपिनियन, कायदा पढ़ा, जुडिशियरी पढ़ा, वगैरह वगैरह. देन I either convert that into a compliance or it is a non-compliant. Okay, so this is journey that we take. Then implementation, your implementation is challenged. He is sitting there watching what मैं क्या कर रहा हूँ. So he is going to challenge because he is one of the interested parties, stakeholder. Okay, so then the matter goes to adjudication. Then he is going to challenge me, तुम्हारा गलत है. Then some decision will come, which I am left with no other option but to follow, because it is final and binding. कोर्ट का ऑर्डर तो हमको मानना ही पड़ेगा. Are you left with option? Yes, you are left with an option of going to higher courts. Okay, and then you start implementing. Then the second interpretation will come. They will correct you. नहीं, इसका मतलब अभी ये हो गया, whatever you have decided, concluded, understood, comprehended is not correct, this is correct. So then total तुम्हारा understanding will have a different shape and completely the shape that you have designed, concluded. वो पूरा उल्टा हो जाए. Okay, then the next is there are consequences. If your decision and the decision that you have received from the judiciary, if it is adverse, then the consequences are different. There are probabilities that you may leave the job. इतना प्रेशर बढ़ता है, इतना प्रेशर. I was asking, अभी हम आते वक्त बात कर रहे थे, how you are choosing a faculty. जैसे आपको कुछ भी प्रोग्राम करना है, आपका फैक्ट्री में कुछ प्रोग्राम करना है, how do you choose a faculty to call him, call her, call him, call him? How do you choose? Do you have a criteria of choosing? For example, you have some problem in the factory में कुछ problem है, then you have some subject needs to be addressed. Faculty कैसे choose करेंगे? So you have a consultant, you have advocate, you have professor, you have ex-boss, वगैरह वगैरह. कैसे choose करेंगे? The best faculty is the person who has been beaten a lot. Person like me. मैंने बहुत मार खाया है, बहुत मार खाया है. Then I've seasoned myself. Yes, the person who has suffered more is the right faculty. अभी आपके वहाँ फैक्ट्री में प्रॉब्लम है तो एडवोकेट अर्न्स मनी. होप नोबडी इज एडवोकेट हियर. यस, यू आर एडवोकेट. सो व्हेन यू आर इन प्रॉब्लम शी अर्न्स. यस, नो. So for advocate is an opportunity, and for me, I am losing a money, which is not budgeted. Again, I am there in the balance sheet. कोई एडवोकेट का बजट होता है क्या? कहीं कोई फैक्ट्री में जुडिशियरी में जाओ तो कुछ भी, there is no budget. So you have a consultant. Consultant also earns money. Professor, of course, there are different personalities altogether. Has no connection. I am very sorry. But had no connection to the ground reality. I have been beaten a lot. So the person who has suffered a lot, the person who has got diabetes, 3 heart attack, sugar patient, is the right faculty. Because he knows कि मुझे इसको बिलीव करना है, इनको बिलीव करना है, उनको बिलीव करना है, किसको बिलीव करना है. He is telling me to do this. He says do this. तो मुझे क्या करना है? I have to choose. Yes, no. This is where the competency, HR competency, legal competency, IR competency is there. Okay, finally you are going to CEO's office and trying to justify the action that you have taken on that subject. Yes, no. It's not the advocate consultant and the other people will go to the top management and justify what is it. सही है ना? So we'll move on to the next consequences, re-implementation. आपने जो किया है वो आपको फिर से करना पड़ेगा. You will have to start from scratches. अभी तक आपने जो किया वो सब गलत है, उसका जवाब कौन देगा? If you are my boss, you will ask me, ये सब आज तक तुमने किया क्या? You will have to justify your action, saying that why I have done this and why it has gone wrong. Finally, it has an impact on the employee cost. I am coming back to that question first. अभी तक हमने जो डिस्कशन किया है, hope you have no questions or you have n number of questions. Any question from your side? कुछ सवाल पूछेंगे तो मुझे मजा है. I will enjoy it. So that others can listen.
So earlier, I'm part of manufacturing segment, and I actively, gave my 100% throughout nearly 11 years.
Very good.
And certainly jumping back to the IT industry. And IT has a two different dimensions. One is IT service sector, another is IT product development sector. In India, what I'm seeing is, the future competitively growing down the line 5 years with manufacturing is next to IT. But what I can see is the HR or the legal professionals in particularly pertaining to the service or the product development sector in IT is still a question mark. because the moment I
is
joined.
a question mark. I'll put an adjective before it, the big question mark.
Okay.
Big question.
So, I want to know, or I would like to know that your opinion or view in this regard, like how you would like to put forward the message to the upcoming IT or the HR professionals.
Say I have one very good question connecting with the question that he has raised. What is the role of law in our life? What is the, for example, the traffic rule says that you have to drive on a left side. Can I drive on a right? No. Can I insult him? No. The law doesn't permit. So what is it that the law does in our life? Forget about it, it's the labor laws, civil laws, or tort laws, or whatever, the constitution and whatever. What is the role of law at a very broad picture, very big picture? What is the law does in our life? You are supposed to respect your mother, father, parents, elderly people. There are rules which are written, which are unwritten. The answer there is, it is a guideline, it's a synonym. You are saying a synonym of a law. I am trying to find out the meaning of what is it that the law does in your and my life. It is uniformity of behavior. I cannot behave the way I like, she cannot, he cannot behave the way I like. I can murder him, I can insult him, I can disobey. No, you cannot do that. You are supposed to behave in a particular fashion beyond which it is an offense. Yes? So the law, whatever law you talk about, it has one specific objective behind it, it is a uniformity of behavior. Okay, the wages that you call, I should call the same as wages, he should call same wages are same. It's a uniform definition. Basic also is the same. What is HRA? You mean to say HRA is different and I mean to say HRA is different? Cannot be. It has to be in a particular fashion. So when you talk about law, say I'm moving on to the next slide to the question that you have raised. Okay, so this subject that we are talking about has no books. पढ़ा है कहीं आपने? On fixed term employee पढ़ा है? Book पढ़ा है? मुझे बताना आप आया, I'll be very happy. There are SOPs. You have designed an SOP for that. You have protocol, manual, procedure, faculty. School में पढ़ाते हैं ये? No, this subject is never touched upon. And there are researches, yes, थोड़ा research होगा कहीं, but the subject that we are talking about has very limited facility there to understand what fixed term employee is. So now I'm coming to the question that you have raised. अगर एक फैक्ट्री में there are 1000 employees, so उसमें typical atypical workforce कितना होगा? So roughly around 800 to 900. So I'm just giving you a range. Okay. So maximum of the strength that you have 1000 employees, these 8 to 900 people, they are governed by law. Yes, no. In addition to that, the rest of the 150 people, ये लोग भी कुछ ना कुछ कायदे से governed होते हैं, but not as stringent as the rest of the people are. Okay. So इसमें classification में there are 6 categories. आपको मालूम होगा ना, you have model standing orders. And now is fixed term employee added in the year 1984. किसको मालूम है? This amendment came in the year 1984 in the August. It is I think 14th or 13th of August this came into existence. What is that? It has not exactly been defined as what? Fixed term employees. Okay, these I will skip here for a moment. Then are you aware of this word camouflage or subterfuge? What is the meaning of this? आप Google करो ना. You can immediately Google what is camouflage, subterfuge. आप पढ़ के रखो. I will come back to you. Okay. This I will skip. थोड़ा पढ़ लेते हैं. What is? Say everybody when they are interviewed, ये एक word हर एक के CV में मिलेगा. He does manpower planning. Irrespective of whether he is engineer, production, QA, QC, कुछ भी बंदा ले लो उसका CV में मैन पावर प्लानिंग मिलेगा. यस नो? You are all into so what is it that मैन पावर प्लानिंग करते कैसे हैं? तो उसका आंसर हमें यही मिलेगा. हम लोग आदमी गिनते 100 का 102 हो गया या 98 हो गया. Finally, the outcome of that is this only. But how do you practically do manpower planning? कैसे करते हैं आप? Do you do manpower planning? कैसे करते हैं? हाँ? बजट कैसे बनाते हैं? Which are all the input that you have? What is the historical data that supports you when you do manpower planning? अच्छा, manpower planning तो हो गया. Execution कैसे होता है? Planning is not the the function. It is the table work. But execution is that. So कैसे करेंगे आप? So manpower handling ये भी मिलेगा आपको. Salary, wage, bill, turnover, these all we have seen. So I'll skip that. Then there is hire and fire. So you all doing hire, almost 95% of HR people they do hire. But fire कौन करता है? कौन करेगा fire? मुझे निकालना है. ये पूरे जो 25 लोग बैठे हैं उनको मुझे निकालना है. How do you do that? The management says I have an excess manpower, remove them. You got an order. I am giving you 1 week. I need to remove these 35 people. How do you do that? कैसे करेंगे? You start sweating. क्यों? मुझे नहीं आता है. I never have done. करेंगे क्या? ऐसा कर पाएंगे आप? Can you do that? 25 people, remove them in 1 week. This is where your skill ability. This is HR technology. Our technology is not centered around machines and theories. This is our technology. How do you remove fire people? And in other words, it's called a separation, exit of employee. कैसे करेंगे आप? So our responsibility is that, okay. Then how do you remove? अच्छा, recruit कैसे करते हैं आप? So which are all modus operandi through you recruit people. One is recruitment. What else? लोग फैक्ट्री के अंदर कैसे आते हैं? How do you get inside the factory? One is recruitment. What next? Oh, you can say talent acquisition or whatever jargonized name it has. So how people come in? One is recruitment. What else? जैसे लोग अंदर कैसे आते हैं फैक्ट्री में? Apprentice is recruitment only. You call it a recruitment of apprentice, workman, and manager, general manager. It's a recruitment. You are telling about trainees, which are all other ways through which people come inside the factory, inside the gate. Work orders is the recruitment. It's the recruitment. What else? Contractual employment is again a category. I am talking about, say, it's how difficult it is to understand recruitment. लोग अंदर कैसे आते हैं? मेरी फैक्ट्री में आए कैसे ये? आप कैसे अंदर आए? You are recruited. What other facilities, other system through which you get inside? One is through court order. 400 लोग अंदर आ गए. They got reinstated, though I don't like them. Yes, no. He is reinstated. I have thrown him out. He is now inside, open with 4 buttons, full ऐसा करके आ जाए. So one is a recruitment, second is a reinstatement. ये 2 पद्धति मुझे मालूम है. Third पद्धति I don't know. Okay, so how do you remove? How do they go out? Whose responsibility it is? Recruitment, removal. निकालने का, this subject today is centered around how do you remove people. You are going to learn next 2 hours, मैं लोगों को निकालूंगा कैसे, which is a very rare competency in nature. Very few people even name the word which are being used for removing people. आप बता सकते हैं मैं लोगों को निकालने के लिए कौन सा word use करूंगा? Regularization, court order, reinstatement, recruitment, talent acquisition. These are all systems through which I recruit people. Inside they come in. Removal. How? One, I'll give you one example. Natural removal is I resign and go. So मैं निकल गया. What else? Termination. Oh, very good. Oh, VRS, oh excellent, excellent. I think the people they know more than anyone else. Oh, what else? Layoff? Oh, very good, excellent. I don't want chocolate, otherwise I would have offered you. आपका एक chocolate मेरे से due हो गया. Okay. So what else?
You resign, otherwise I will.
You retire. So retirement is one. So there are 4 words I could get. और क्या हो सकता है? हाँ? Forced resignation. तुम resign नहीं कर रहे हो, but I am pressurizing you. Resign करो, otherwise I'll call police and do whatever. 1, 2, 3, I'll take an action and then I'll make sure that you are gone. Okay. So I have a list: dismissal, discharge, termination. Photo खींच लो आप. You'll never get this material anywhere. Suspension, verbal termination, suspension pending inquiry, retrenchment, layoff. These are all words which I am using to make sure that people go either voluntarily or involuntarily or naturally. So there are 3 ways of quitting people out. One of them is FTC. We'll get into that. What else? Mass termination. मैंने एक साथ 400 लोगों को निकाला. Okay. Then closure. फैक्ट्री बंद कर दिया तो अपने आप चले गए लोग. Okay. Then discharge, simplicity, termination, abandonment, sickness termination. ये termination भी 10 तरह के हैं. There are 10 different types of termination. इसमें से आपको क्या आता है? A very blunt and थोड़ा अलग किस्म का सवाल पूछता हूँ. इसमें से आप क्या कर सकते हैं? You have this. You have this skill, ability, technology, expertise and specialization. आप किस में स्पेशलाइज है? फोर्स रेजिग्नेशन में यूर स्पेशलाइज. ये रिटायर नहीं हो रहा है, फिर भी मैं इनको रिटायर कर रहा हूँ. आई एम स्पेशलाइज इन टर्मिनेशन. मेरा एक्सपर्टीज, आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट द लास्ट, एक्सपर्टीज इन स्पेशलाइजेशन. अगर मुझे जम्मू में किसी बंदे को निकालना है तो मैं आपको ही भेजूंगा. ही इज एक्सपर्ट इन मेकिंग श्योर दैट ही इज टर्मिनेटेड. सो दिस इज वेयर योर एक्सपर्टीज एंड स्पेशलाइजेशन इज. कुछ फैक्ट्री में देर आर पीपल हु कैन डू दिस. ऐसे करते हैं, ऐसे किया, 3 आदमी निकाला. दिस इज अवर जॉब. यस नो. दिस इज मेरा काम है, और कौन करेगा? अगर मैं नहीं करूँगा तो मुझे ही निकाल देंगे. मैनेजमेंट में यू ओनली गेट लॉस्ट, यू डोंट नो योर बिजनेस. यू डोंट हैव अ टफ बॉस. तुमको टफ बॉस मिल गया तो बोलेगा इफ यू आर नॉट इन अ पोजिशन टू मैनेज दिस, गेट लॉस्ट. आई विल गेट हिम, ही कैन डू दिस जॉब बेटर. So, okay, sickness termination. किया है कभी? Somebody is sick, is terminated. How you do that? You must have done it, I know. Okay, then what? अभी the list doesn't end here. Resignation, force, mass, voluntary, plant, VRS, CRS. CRS is what? Compulsory. You will have with no other option but to put up your paper and get lost under a voluntary, though it is known as. Okay, then contract, FTC, strike, 33, death, accident. These are all different words which are being used to make sure that people are exiting. निकाल रहे हैं हम. और लिस्ट और लंबा है. रिटायरमेंट, सुपरएनुअल, रिलिक्विश, प्रोबेशन टर्म, ब्रेक टर्म, ट्रांसफर, टर्मिनेशन ड्यू टू इल हेल्थ. ये अच्छा, मेरे को ये बताओ इसमें से कितना आपको आता है? आई एम वेरी श्योर विद लेस देन 2 आवर्स मैं आपको नहीं सिखा सकता हूँ. ये मेरा कॉन्फिडेंस है. ये मेरा कॉन्फिडेंस है बिकॉज दिस जॉब इज नॉट एज सिंपल एज रिक्रूटमेंट इज. रिक्रूटमेंट अपना जनता जो है HR, दे डज ओनली 95%, दे डज ओनली रिक्रूटमेंट. बट हु इज देयर who can make sure that people, when the business is not well, लोग निकालेंगे. This is a core competency which very few people in HR they know this. Okay. Now, why I'm telling you all this? Why I'm telling you all this since it is 1 hour, almost 1 hour. तो मैंने ये आपको सब क्यों बोला? अच्छा, go back to this list. इसमें से कौन सा 29 words, 33 is what? Condition of services remain unchanged during pendency of any of the dispute before tribunal, court or the respective So you want to remove me? You cannot remove me. Until and unless I take permission approval from the respective court, then only you can remove me. You know IDA section 33, approval application, permission, मालूम है ना आपको? So this is even applicable when FTC is there. ये FTC को लागू पड़ता है, and what is judiciary interpretation understanding on 33 for FTC, ये मैं आपको बाद में बताता हूँ. वेरी गुड क्वेश्चन. और कुछ सवाल पूछो ना, आप मेरे को सवाल पूछेंगे तो मुझे भी मजा आएगा. आई नीड समबडी कैन चैलेंज मी. ये सब गलत बोल रहा है, 1.5 घंटे से सर पक गया. से समथिंग, आस्क मी क्वेश्चन सो दैट, से व्हाई यू कम हियर इज टू लर्न, एंड यू हैव ऑल फ्रीडम टू आस्क इवन इफ यू हैव अ सिली क्वेश्चन. यस नो, वो पूछो, कुछ सवाल पूछो, देन ओनली आई विल एंजॉय. या प्लीज. Sorry?
What relinquish states?
Relinquish is a synonym of resignation. Okay, but it's slightly different. I'm quitting the lane that I have on my job. On my own, I'm quitting. It's slightly different than resignation, but it is relinquishment. The judiciary has thrown a very good light on this word. And it can explain you when you go to Google and try to find out. You'll get more detail. Is synonym of a resignation, to be very short on this. Okay, next सवाल पूछो कोई. इसमें से आप क्या कर सकते हैं? I have been asking this question to candidates wherever I am there in the interview panel. किसी को कुछ नहीं आता है, and the standard answer that they give is, let me call up advocate. लेट मी कॉल अप कंसल्टेंट, ही विल गाइड मी कैसे करना, मुझे टर्मिनेशन, सिकनेस टर्मिनेशन करना है, कैसे करना. आई डोंट हैव अ ड्राफ्ट, आई डोंट हैव मॉडल्स ऑपरेंडी, आई डोंट हैव कंसेप्चुअल क्लैरिटी, आई डोंट हैव अ रिकॉर्ड, आई डोंट हैव एविडेंसेस, आई डोंट हैव एनीथिंग, बट मुझे इनको सिकनेस में निकालना है. हाउ डू आई डू दैट? तो ये तो करना है, दिस इज अवर जॉब. सो यू डिसाइड दैट मुझे ये 29 वर्ड्स में से क्या क्या आता है, where I am expertise and where I am specialization कहाँ पे. Sitting here you can throw somebody in Nepal, but नेपाल में तो different labor laws लगता है. So when you know Indian laws, sitting here in Japan, if you want to terminate, how would you be a global HR head? The Japanese advocate will guide you, ऐसा करो, ऐसा करो, ऐसा करो. Would you understand that in terms of Japanese laws? अफगानिस्तान में किसी को निकाला, यू आर अ ग्लोबल HR हेड. हाउ डू यू डू दैट? व्हेन यू ग्रो अप, ओनली डिफिकल्ट जॉब कम्स टू यू. रिमेंबर दिस. वो कोई गुडी गुडी जॉब तुम्हारे पास आने वाला नहीं है. सो यू बी प्रिपेयर्ड. व्हाई आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट ऑल दिस इज FTC इज द ओनली कंसेप्ट वेयर यू कैन प्लान एग्जिट इन एडवांस. You have appointed me today on 2nd of July 2023. You can say you are not required on 2nd of July 24. इसमें मैंने FTC नहीं लिखा है, आप तो बोलते ही नहीं. Today's subject is not there. I wanted you to tell me that ये आज का सब्जेक्ट तो इसमें लिखा ही नहीं है आपने. लिखा है ना? Oh, very good. I salute you. Oh, very good, very good. I was just bluffing. Okay, so the only exit which you can plan in advance, today you can tell me that after 1 year you are not required. That is the benefit. Why this? मैंने आपको स्लाइड में दिखाया हायर एंड फायर. दिस हायर एंड फायर इज हाउ ओल्ड कंसेप्ट? कितना पुराना है? इज 100 years old, शायद उससे भी ज़्यादा हो. That you are hired and you are fired. But these FTC is a synonym of hire and fired. You are hiring me today for 1 year, you are automatically fired. That is called automatic termination. We will get into that. We will break for 5-10 minutes. Okay? We will break for what? Or you want me to continue for maybe 10-15 minutes and then we will break? How are you comfortable? Okay, I will move on. So, how service conditions are governed? I've been asking you n number of questions. आप सर्विस कंडीशन कैसे नक्की करते हैं? You have hired me, you have given me 20 lakhs. You give me 40 lakhs, you give me 5 lakhs, but what is it that you expect from me? Under what conditions? ये opportunities labor laws में कहाँ है? Can somebody tell? Standing orders, excellent answer, excellent answer. One is standing orders which decide what should be my terms of appointment, which are all the conditions through which my services will be governed. वो कैसे नक्की होगा? One is standing order. What else? What else? Standing orders are of two types. You already know it. Is model and standing model and certified. For getting it certified, the actions that you are supposed to take 1, 2, 3, 4, you already know it. Okay, you are submitting 5 copies, you inviting unions, raise an objection, then there is a discussion, and then whatever. And then you get your draft certified, becomes this standing orders. What else? Appointment letter. You giving me appointment letter when you employ me, but उसमें लिखते हैं that if you suppose you are on probation, this will solve salary, confidentiality, transfer, वगैरह वगैरह. There are mandatory provisions and there are non-mandatory and there are वगैरह वगैरह. Some appointment letter you must have seen of 2 pages, some appointment letter of 43 pages, 53 pages, 100 pages. देखा है आपने? Oh, what is it? These 100 pages talk about? They talk about सर्विस कंडीशंस. गवर्नमेंट में जाएंगे तो आपको सर्विस बुक मिलेगा. ओके, देन व्हाट? और विच आर ऑल द डॉक्यूमेंट विच गवर्न द सर्विस कंडीशन? वन इज सेटलमेंट्स. यू अराइव एट सेटलमेंट विद वर्कमैन. You say you cannot strike, you give me this productivity, you cannot do this, you can do this, I'll give you this increment, वगैरह वगैरह. So settlement is one document through which you govern. But these are all opportunities. ये कौन बनाता है? Standing order मैं बनाता हूँ. Appointment letter मैं बनाता हूँ. Settlement भी मैं करता हूँ. So huge freedom given to management, though it is labeled as a labor law. Though it is labeled as labor laws, a huge opportunities. The list is not ended. Award. कोर्ट का अवार्ड आया ना, so that also is a service condition. The court is telling you are supposed to do 1, 2, 3, 4. So award also is based on my argument, my submission, my evidences, my documentation. Then the award is given. Okay, next one is interim order. ये order के पहले का stage है. These are all documents through which, and these are all papers which are created by whom? The competency that you and me have. Yes, no. These are all reflection of why people get their standing order certified. क्या reason है? There is already a model standing orders available. Why do we do that? It's an opportunity I would like to encash. Okay, then what? Bonus agreement. There are a number of bonus agreements that talk about productivity. I'll give you over and above bonus, I'll give you an ex gratia provided if you do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things. So these are all opportunity which I create. Okay, then what? And many more. And the list doesn't end here. There are 24 opportunities through which I can establish an excellent control over the masses of 1,000 people which I have. These are all opportunities. No, मैं जो कहूँगा because I have given you salary which you expected. So you behave the way I like. You produce the way I like. You get into a discipline mode the way I like. Okay. So I have a freedom. And this is a reflection of my skill, technology, expertise and specialization.
Sir, I have a question.
Yeah, please.
So while we are discussing the appointment letter, many companies have separate things. One is appointment, one is NDA or non-compete. So do we consider it as one?
One document. Yes, yes. Even there are code of conduct, there are code of discipline. Okay. So there are number of other documents. Therefore, I have written there are 24 opportunities through which you establish a better control over the people. Now I have a question to ask, not exactly you, but all of you. What is management? ये management शब्द का मतलब क्या होता है? I think I am audible. Okay. So what is the meaning of management? And then we understand what FTC is. What is management? What is your understanding? Forget about which school of thought says what. which college says what, which book says, which philosopher says what about management. का मतलब क्या है? What is the meaning of? In one word. I don't blah blah blah. लंबा नहीं बोलना है. What is the synonym of management? Synonym. Only one word. This is what exactly comprehension is. When I say management का मतलब मैं समझ जाता हूँ. Manage everything. What is it that is a synonym of management? One word. This is where conceptual clarity का मतलब तो यही है. It is control. Management का मतलब control. And when the things goes out of control, it is mismanagement. Yes, you have butchered everything, otherwise it was very good. Means you now don't have control, or you have a better control, or you have a partial control. Management is everything is in my control. People behave the way I like. Through these documents. I want these people to behave through these documents. Then only there is a control. Why do we issue appointment letter? You don't join competitor, you don't do this, confidentiality, probation, salary, वगैरह वगैरह. There are a number of conditions that we enumerate there in the different documents which I have shown you. So this is a control. तो control कहाँ पे है? 29 words which I have shown you. Where is the control? कहीं पे भी control नहीं है. There are no dismissal में control है. I can dismiss him today, I can dismiss her tomorrow, I can dismiss. कोई control नहीं है क्या control? Anytime anything can happen to anyone, but it has to be in my control is management. Is that clear? So therefore, now let's move on to exactly what FTC is. कोई बता सकता है मुझे कहाँ पे है FTC in the labor laws? One is you have appointed somebody on FTCs. So where is that? Where is the provision? देखो, there are almost 200 acts which talks about labor, starting from act to central rules to state rules. What I am going to do today, the rest of 1.5 or 2 hours, we will talk about only this, and followed by this: Model Standing Order, Gratuity and Constitution. These 4 acts we are going to talk about. So I'll explain you what exactly is. Any questions so far? So we'll break here for 5-10 minutes and then we'll come back. Okay, then I'll start a new chapter. Thereafter I'll go to judiciary. What is an interpretation, as I said 1 hour back, कि मुझे कायदे का मतलब मैं समझता हूँ. What is it being understood by judiciary is different. Because judiciary's understanding is final. Correct, no? Final and binding. I cannot turn left or right. I am supposed to follow what the judiciary says. So, मेरा interpretation कुछ भी है, but it is not final and is not binding. So, what is an interpretation given by judiciary is different than whatever we are saying. So, we'll move on to the next. Okay, we'll break here for 5-10 minutes, logical break, and then we'll come back. 5 minutes is okay or 10 minutes is okay? 10 minutes. You need 15 minutes. No, okay, very good.
All are requested to please come back within 10 minutes, right? Thank you.